Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Rashawn Melvin in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
On the draw, they go to Geis. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll have a first down past the 40 to Gabriel, middle of the field. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Watch tight, tight is right. Watch tight, tight is right.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Trubisky will throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Trubisky to throw. Off to Geis on the screen. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
At their own 16-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. Here's Stafford. They'll run the screen with Carson. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Come on, set. 10-2, sir. Alpha.
They'll try the option right here on third down. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Go! 180! Check 56. No chance. Go!
On first down, Trubisky. He's got a man complete. Give him 32 on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
It's now 3rd and 9.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd down, here's Geis. And a Pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. We're scoreless after one. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Darius Geis with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Blue 60! Mike 58, right there. Someone got man.
They run it here. Ware. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
1st down, Lions.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Stafford now to throw. His throw incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. It's Geis on the counter. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
180. Let's go. Hey, check my feet.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hey, 18.
Now Trubisky. That's complete right side to Gabriel. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go again.
Out of the gun, Geis. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run the counter. It's Carson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Brian Anger now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. Come on.
They run again with Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Stafford throwing on target to Jones. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 27 yards there, a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Johnson, and he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. When I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take the ball out.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a toss. This is Geis. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, If you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford, left side, complete to Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Stafford. Flush to his right. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poked free. Football's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Stafford. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Stafford flushed it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Bears take over
Play to win. Let's
at
go.
their own 21-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Chicago. On the return, here's Agnew. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Lions will take over.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket up?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Geis. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This complete to Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Stafford. It's caught. Lockett. That'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He finds a rookie from Iowa, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a gain of 20.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
We got this.
Complete to Tyler Lockett. A gain on the play. First down.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Now it's Stafford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Daron Payne able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, 58 is a mic.
Throwing again. Stafford completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Ready? 8, read. Hey, Delta.
Record.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Chicago, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.